Hey, welcome back, and in today's video, Chris Hansen has recently been under a lot of criticism, and rightfully so, but now it seems like people from his personal life are getting involved in the drama, as it appears that his girlfriend was seen recently bullying a survivor that he interviewed on his channel. If you're unfamiliar, Ashlee, or ashlee lillie on Twitter, has been helping Chris Hansen behind the scenes since her first appearance on his channel. And at one point, he even referred to her as she was like one of his daughters. However, the sentiment was not shared, as it came across very manipulative in the way that it involved criticism, as if to say that she should not engage with anyone that does not agree with him. I have several friends that I love. I'm very close to them, but I don't agree with their beliefs. I don't understand. I feel like I just can't concept it. I don't agree with it. But they've been my best friends for over a decade, and I'm not gonna just, stop being their friend because I might disagree with their beliefs or other things that they think. And then there's diplomacy, like we should get along with people. There's people that I do not like. I can't stand them, but I want to be diplomatic, and there's billions of people on the planet that you're bound to run into people that you just really don't get along with. So you have to be able to agree to disagree in order to move a conversation along, and that's called life. Speaking of situations like this and not being able to control things, Ashlee tweeted this. On August 7th of 2020, she says, LMFAO, why was Chris Hansen's wife harassing me on John Swan's stream? This opens up a lot of questions, but we need to talk about some things for context. Now, if you don't know who John Swan is, he's been covering Chris Hansen in great detail with some of the most well put together videos that I've seen. I highly suggest that you watch them to understand the greater context of this situation. And I think that context is really important in this situation, and why Chris Hansen's girlfriend and it is his girlfriend, why she would even come after Ashlee in the first place. I think we need to read why she's having nothing to do with him anymore. In a pinned tweet on her Twitter profile from July 27th of 2020, it says, "Today I told Chris I will not be participating in his show any longer. Here are my final thoughts as I close this chapter of my life, and I ask that you respect them and stop asking me any longer what is happening or why I'm not as involved as I have been in the past. This situation has brought me far more grief than venting about my trauma ever has. I'm tired of pretending to live in a world where everything is fine just because the source of that content is negative. I value the relationships that have come from this that have stuck. I have to do this for me, not for anyone else. I had to do this even though I know I'll be getting phone calls, texts, DMs, whatever. I had to say my final piece before dipping out of this completely. However, that doesn't mean I'm still not helping survivors submit to the FBI file reports. That has nothing to do with the Chris Hansen show." And then Ashlee posted her reasoning as to why she made this decision. "Chris Hansen gave me a voice to speak about what Davi Vanity did to me about 4 months ago, and it's been a wild ride since. As a lot of you know, I was the first to speak on his channel about this topic, and I am endlessly grateful for the opportunity that was given and the people I've met along the way. I stand by my stream being incredible and a personally life-changing moment. Today I let him know that I will not be participating in his show any longer or following it. Over the last few months, viewers have noticed my lack of presence or input because I was so involved prior. I am often asked what is happening or sent information surrounding scandals, drama, etc. And I ignore it for the sake of not coming off as canceling him despite being super critical of the things I've heard. I do not think Chris Hansen should be canceled, nor should survivors lose a platform to share their stories on. However, I think criticism is important in any relationship you have, whether it be professional or personal. If I feel as though I'm in a relationship where there is no room for growth nor understanding other parties, I cannot participate. I know people will ask for details and my thoughts on everything, and I'm not prepared to give those at this time. I have given my complete and honest thoughts to creators that are close to me, and they may come up in the future. No drama channels involved need to be canceled. No commentary channels, no interviewers, but that does not mean that they cannot be criticized, and I hold out hope for growth in the future. To end this on a note unrelated to Chris, I need to remind everyone whatever happens on YouTube or Twitter does not affect the outcome of Davi's inevitable trial. Videos on YouTube will not be in the courtroom. Drama on YouTube or Twitter. Our legal team will, and that's what I'm focused on, which brings me to my final point. I'm blocking and unfollowing a decent amount of people unrelated to the investigation online for my own mental health. I refuse to let other survivors talk to me like crap behind the scenes and pummel me into the ground emotionally while I pretend everything is fine for the sake of the internet's viewing of the investigation. Because we share platforms and stories does not mean we have to get along, and I'm tired of virtue signaling and manipulation. And because I know someone will ask, as they had last time, I hinted at something like this: me and Mal are still friends, LOL. Thank you for listening and for being by my side from the start of this. I'm super thankful for the agent that we are working with and those who have actually been through this process. In addition to this, she did end up going on a live stream with Edwin Costa from Edwin's Generation, where she said this.
Do you feel like he is helping the investigation itself?
No.
Okay.
No.
And I think that we have to be specific about that question, because we're saying the investigation, right? And we're not talking about, like, I guess, because, I mean, from my perception, it seems like he certainly has helped get awareness to the story. You know, there's no denying that. But it's beyond that. Of course.
I mean, he's, like I said in the beginning of my note, and I will stand by it, I do not regret going on his show one bit. And I don't think that his show should be canceled, because it's super important for people to feel like their voices are heard. There's nothing wrong with sharing people's stories and sharing your experience through his channel. However, all of the little details that are being, thrown around on the internet about him helping and him doing this, it's just not true. He's not helping the investigation. He is helping get voices out there, which is amazing. That's a great thing. People should have their voices heard. But he, I feel like this is a good transition into another topic that we were going to discuss about his lack of connection to the actual FBI and law enforcement. It actually wasn't until quite a few months into, or I think the timeline's all wonky. I can't believe it's been, when was that, March, and it's August now. It wasn't until we had an FBI agent assigned to the case that he finally got in touch with an FBI agent regarding everything. And at first, they didn't even want to be speaking with him or involved with him. Okay. So he didn't have law enforcement connections. He didn't have FBI.
So you can see that there's no spite, just genuine concern to get something accomplished, and Chris being way too vague to get these things done.
So to be clear, now there is an open case, but that is not exactly to any aid from Chris Hansen?
No, not at all. Tehmimi, if Tehmimi's still in the chat, Tehmimi and Creepshow Art are the ones who found us our FBI agent. Like, we owe that to them. Like, without Tehmimi and Shannon, we would not have the person that we have right now, who is amazing. And them and their partner have just been incredible. And we wouldn't have that because with Chris Hansen, we kept asking and asking when it was going to go farther and never got anywhere with it.
Yeah, I remember in one of Shannon's videos, she had Tehmimi in a little bit of a segment where Tehmimi went into how she emailed Chris Hansen, how she had information about Davi, and he kind of like responded, but then kind of ghosted her for a couple of weeks, and then she got frustrated because she's like, yo, this is serious. Like, I want to get in touch with the FBI because, and she took it upon herself to, get in touch with Shannon, and then they both, between the two of them, made it possible, and then they put you in touch with the FBI. Yeah. So, right. I find
we owe it to them. We really do. And I can't thank them enough for that, because without them, I don't know how long it would have taken for us to realize that he didn't have it, like he said he did.
And I can 100% vouch for this. I was there behind the scenes while Creepshow and Tehmimi were connecting, learning how to just generally connect to the FBI. And then Tehmimi taught me actually how to do that. And then we all ended up using the same contact from the FBI. So anyone that's claiming that they have special knowledge or contacts with the FBI outside of this, well, they're full of crap. If you guys do want to watch Edwin's live stream within its entirety, I'm going to put it in the description below. And now that we have a little bit more context as to why Ashlee was disconnecting from Chris Hansen, let's go back to her tweet. She says, why was Chris Hansen's wife harassing me? Now, this is, in fact, his girlfriend. It's verified that this is actually who this is. As you can see, Chris Hansen's following her. It's the same one that's in his live streams. She posts a screenshot here of that same person saying it's G News. Her name's Gabriella, if I'm not mistaken. Victims upset with Ashlee. Can't blame them. So this is her coming in, and it needs to be noted that this John Swan live stream, even though he has been covering Chris Hansen's antics intensely, this was a completely unrelated live stream. So she just came on in and she just decided to say this, which is kind of just odd in general, because Ashlee was just participating in this live stream and she was just commenting, and then they would have had to been watching to see this, as you'll see more context shortly. John Swan actually says it does look like that's his girlfriend, Gabrielle. At least we know where Hansen gets his info. Ashlee replies, I think my favorite part is that the stream was completely unrelated. And then here she comes out and says, truth is, Ashlee is turning on Chris because he didn't say her last name on a show. He gave her a platform for a story and only was ever nice. She also retracted some hearts she sent him on message. That's very confusing. And stay tuned, because I reached out to Ashlee and she wrote a statement kind of explaining this situation. Let's read that. So basically, August 4th, I was watching John Swan's stream about Scumbag Hector, second video on him. I was interacting with people in the chat every now and again, just talking and saying hi. G News came out of nowhere with victims upset with Ashlee. Can't blame them. Comment, and it threw me off guard, but people in chat disregarded her as a troll, and I didn't think much about it until their next message. When they sent the message about redacting a heart from Chris Hansen's text message to me, I was insanely confused, because that was something I had done out of hurt when looking back at old messages. Maybe it was petty of me to do, but regardless, I hadn't said a word to anyone around me about it, and honestly, I'd forgotten I'd even done that. I knew that it had to be somebody close to him, but I figured it was Anonymous Gene, and I let it go. It's important to note that Anonymous Gene is somebody that's been harassing John Swan for, I want to say, over a month, maybe two. And we may go more into detail about that in the future. I'm not sure, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of insight on that. A few days after someone tagged me in a screenshot of the person harassing me in the chat, someone posted a screenshot of Chris Hansen's girlfriend's Instagram page, G News, and it all made sense. An onision survivor ended up commenting on that thread to let me know that Gabrielle often got involved in drama surrounding Chris and made comments instigating victims or shaming them for questioning his motives. After I shared the tweet and linked it to you, she made her Instagram private and kicked 50 followers. It's really unsettling that not only was she harassing me and lurking in chat that had nothing to do with Chris, but her comment mocking me for asking Chris to keep me in the loop should he try to take the Davi Vanity story to television really hurt for many reasons. Even if I'm not associating with his YouTube channel and do not support his choices, it makes me feel even more exiled from the rights to my own trauma being shared, and as though I'm not allowed to be concerned about the future of my story. So this is a high degree of unprofessionalism. I don't think that Chris's girlfriend, let alone anybody in his own personal life, has any right to invade this realm, this what's supposed to be a safe space for survivors. The way she's going about this, almost stalking survivors that Chris Hansen's interviewed, it leaves like this way of like, you may actually, if anybody in the future gets involved with Chris, you might have to put up with people from his personal life tracking you down and following you across live streams on the internet. And man, that's not a good look that you want to have for somebody that's supposed to be doing all these good things for survivors. It's just not. So this Anonymous Gene character, we're going to talk a little bit about that for a second. It's said that he or she worked with Chris Hansen in the past, and I reached out to Chris and I asked him, and he said that he had no idea who Anonymous Gene was, what they did, if they were a girl, if they were a guy, but made a point to say that he cannot control their actions. And I feel like maybe he's going to feel the same way about this, like he can't control his girlfriend's actions, but I feel like that's highly unacceptable, and there should be some sort of professionalism or a boundary created right there that should be respected, that his family members and stuff don't just come up and start attacking people that don't agree with Chris Hansen, because everybody that's a public figure on the internet, they're going to get criticisms. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's a degree of respect between my family members and my loved ones where they would never disrespect me or cross that boundary and come into what I do here. Like, that is, like I said, it's the highest degree of unprofessionalism, and stuff like this should not happen. But that's just how I feel. I do want to know how you feel, because as interesting as this is, there's always something that's more interesting to me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think. So why don't you go ahead and leave your creative and interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up for those likes, as always, brothers and sisters. I will see you in the next video. it's crazy. I couldn't believe this when I saw this happening, and there's a lot of other things that's going on surrounded into this. So stay tuned because I'm going to be covering it this week. Greg, how do you feel about that? I was thinking the same thing. It shouldn't happen. I got my stress ball. I'm thinking about making a stress ball that's Greg's face. If you're interested in having something like that, let me know. And do not forget Positivity Turtle. I highly expect to see Positivity Turtle spammed in chat. It makes me feel better. And what else? Don't forget to get your Repzilla t-shirt, the one that's got my face on it. If you're wanting that, you can color it in. It's real cool. And I'm extremely rusty with videos. I'm sorry I've not been uploading. Like I said, I'm going to try to upload at the very least 3 this week, and then try to get back in regular Monday through Friday schedule at the end of this month, and hit September, October, November, and December very hard. I've been slacking. I do apologize. Mental health stuff's not been good, but let's see if I can get back on a normal, regular schedule. Thank you for helping me meet the goal for Facebook this year, which was 10,000 followers. We did meet that. If you do need to reach out to me, don't forget to reach out on Facebook. DMs are open, and it's the best way to get a hold of me, or if you have any topics or anything like that. Because it's just another way to show that you're repping. If you're not repping, you're getting. Hey, do that. All you gotta do is subscribe and notifications turned on. Be in the comment section after every single video, because I'm going to be there. Greg, the cat, is going to be there, and the rest of the Repzilla community as well, and I expect to see you there too, because this channel loves you. Woo! I am so rusty. Like, if you're like,